When we practice dwelling in the Word, we use an expression. You'll see it all over that little book, Dwelling in the Word. Listen your reasonably friendly stranger into free speech. Now, listening someone into free speech, that sounds like a really good idea. In fact, I've had people come up to me during such a workshop and say, I love that line, listening your friendly-looking stranger into free speech. But, like, how do I even get started? What are the ABCs of listening someone into free speech?
So the A is, well, you got to begin where you have some influence, which is yourself.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes, I'm a stranger after all that you're listening into free speech. I might
Yeah.
have a wallop, right?
Yeah. So the first thing I do is I attend. I attend to my attitude. Am I actually paying attention to them?
Yeah.
Or am I already trying to figure out how am I going to convince them to my point of view? Or worse, and this I find often, I'm so worried about what they're going to think of me that I'm so self-conscious I can't attend
Yeah.
to them.
And they've gone on now for quite some time without you even really hearing what they were saying.
So it's a spiritual
Okay.
discipline.
Okay.
And I have to do it, my personality type, it's not natural for me to begin with that sort of, all right, Pat, pay attention. Just pay attention. One of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver, says, I think this is her line, pay attention. It's our only true work.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if that's the A and you've attended to yourself in order to sort of turn yourself to the person,
That gets us to our B.
that gets us to B, which is the turning is actually an act of your body.
It's all about body,
Also
really.
your facial expression or your
huge.
eye contact. And to be listening to someone into free speech, you always have to be sensitive to what their body is doing. Are they pulling back? Are they afraid? And so you maybe don't give them quite as much eye contact because that might be intimidating.
Really depends on, these are cultural things to a
No,
great extent.
That's right.
How close you are, how your body attends to them,
Yeah.
what postures.
Yeah.
And, the thing is that as much as these things are deeply cultural, they're also deeply personal. How one person shows an openness and attention, the same set of gestures may not work. We had a doctoral student, as you recall, David Hahn, who one whole section of his study in this was shoulders.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and,
right.
and the power of shoulders to either give someone a sense that you really are listening
Yeah.
and you really care what they've got to say, or frankly,
not.
you're not listening.
Yeah, that's right.
And he just, he had all these videos and studied shoulders.
So in a way, B, the body, goes back to the A. I'm attending now to what I'm doing with my body,
Right.
and then I'm giving it really to the stranger. I'm actually at the disposal of the stranger.
At least to the point of really attending to them.
That's right.
Yeah. It doesn't make me vulnerable per se, but it does make me open.
Yes.
Gives a sense of genuine interest to what they have to say.
And if you're going to do this, you have to be a little malleable. I mean, if they respond better to you when you're leaning forward a little bit, just a little bit, then you have to be willing to lean forward just a little bit.
Now, not everyone has as expressive a face as you do, for example. I mean, you can, right? Mine isn't quite that expressive, so I have to use other ways of letting someone know,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. And then, of course, C.
Yeah. Once again, this starts where I have some control within myself.
Yeah.
Once again, we're talking about what are the beginning points,
Yeah.
and that is caring. There's an old line, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you need to locate that caring. It's not an abstract thing.
It better not be, because I might not care about what the stranger is saying, actually,
No,
right?
really, right.
I mean,
We all have that experience of saying we love humanity but find any particular person disgusting. I certainly do. And I'm always a little suspicious of people who say, well, they love everyone.
Yeah.
And I go,
Yeah, but
I would just, it'd be really nice if I can locate within myself what is it I care about in this person. And I may have to discover that as I listen them into free speech. One of the things I might be discovering is, what is it that I care about? And what is it that we care about? So those are the ABCs.
I think so, and the caring is almost built into the exercise in dwelling in the Word, because even if I were only motivated by self-interest, I care how well I'm going to re-say what my stranger said to get it more or less accurate, so that if the person who's facilitating the exercise says, well, did she get that right? I want them to say, yeah, that was pretty right.
This is about listening.
It's about listening.
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious, but it's not obvious, right?
Yeah.
My responsibility is not to convince somebody.
No.
Not to get it right. My job in this is